And many folks have come over the years and said, well, you should write a book about this. And Luke's joke is that we don't read and write very well. So we'll give you one better. We'll give you a movie because we were homeschooled. And so here we are.
Okay, stay close. Let's go.
I want a record deal. So do I.
Yeah, well, boys, get in line.
You've won Grammy Awards, you've played concerts in front of thousands of people, you've worked with Dolly Parton. So my first question was, what's more nerve-wracking, I guess, going out on stage for the first time, doing those kinds of things, or playing your own father in a movie?
I have dubbed it a very expensive therapy session, Cody, playing your own dad in a film. And so by way of just introduction to the film, for those of you viewers and listeners that don't know, this is a 90s film. This is a film about miracles, about mums. It's a family adventure movie. It's ultimately our parents' migration story, moving from Australia to the United States, and our sister Rebecca St. James starting her career as a musician. Luke and I were very young at the time, and so we only ever saw this story from sort of a child's perspective. But we've shared about it really often, as you would know, Cody, at for King Country shows as an opportunity to pay it forward with child advocacy and reaching out around the world to help families similar to us and what we faced in poverty when we first moved. And many folks have come over the years and said, well, you should write a book about this. And Luke's joke is that we don't read and write very well. So we'll give you one better. We'll give you a movie because we were homeschooled, And so here we are, man. We started putting pen to paper in 2020. We went into production in 2022. And now we're just a few short weeks away from releasing this film theatrically across the country through Lionsgate. And we're kind of overwhelmed by it, to be honest. It's been such a radical project. But to answer your question, this whole thing it's the most terrifying project that we've ever been a part of, because you're not dealing in tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars. You're dealing with millions of dollars, and you're not dealing with just like, I can go up and control the narrative on a stage and it's just us. You're dealing with an ensemble of people, cast and crew and marketing and film studios. And it's also, man, even before it released, it's been probably the most rewarding project we've ever been a part of. But yeah, there is this very specific type of terror, even down to playing your own dad, because dad is such a major character in this thing. I remember our producer, who went along with it, but our producer, we got about 2 days into shooting the film, and he came up and was like, basically like, we're not going to die. You can actually act. And I was like, yeah, that's terrifying,
Oh, I can attest to, I'm a movie guy, so I can tell you objectively, if I didn't know you were playing your dad, I think you would have sold it, because I think that like it works. I think that it doesn't feel like ever there's a message being preached at to the audience in this movie. It's just,
that's good.
You're showing these real things. And I was curious, you're telling a very personal story of your own family's journey, but I wonder if it's also, this movie, a love letter to the family model in general, or faith in general, because in America today, the individual gets a lot of attention, but this film shows a mother, a father, a family working together in and through struggle. So I'm curious how that kind of worked its way into your story.
It was a lot of debate about that, because like you said, we're very individualistic with culture right now, but we're also very individualistic with films. It's like you have to have the lead protagonist. And one of the things that I actually really liked about this and was charming, but was really hard to figure out the nuance of, was like, people are like, well, is Helen the lead, or is David the antagonist, or is Rebecca, our sister, is she the lead? Or like, and you got like 3 or 4 people, and I kind of got to the place where I was like, yes, like they all are. And for an 18-year-old girl, Rebecca is an inspirational figure as, young teenagers and early 20s are trying to piece together their life as girls and figure out who they're going to love and what they're going to do with their life and what they're called to. And to a mom and a wife, it's Helen, looking at Helen and going, I'm just inspired by. And to men grappling with pride and insecurity and wanting to provide and all the rest of it, it's David. And I kind of, I like this ensemble. I really love this ensemble approach of going, yeah, it can be, the unsung hero of this film could be as someone different for each person that watches it. And I like that, I like
Yeah.
that idea.
I definitely, so my wife and I actually, after watching it, we were, I think there is debate about who is the actual unsung hero. And it's, to me, I think the whole family resonates there. You aren't hiding your faith in this movie. It's also very much a family drama first, but I think that showing the trials again, rather than preaching a message, I think it makes it feel more real because, it's not pray and everything gets better immediately. It's pray and then work through the highs and lows. Why was it important for you to tell it like that?
Well, we already have the Hallmark Channel. So we wanted to leave them to do their work, and we didn't want to make a film that felt that way. We wanted to make an adventure film, a drama that was very grounded. And because it's our own family, we wanted to work even harder to make a grounded film. I've made a life, Cody, of working with my family. So I have my wife, my brothers, my parents, my sisters. I can't afford to be biased creatively when it comes to my own family and the optics. I have to be realistic. And so this was another exercise once again of going, I have to be realistic with our story and I have to be very sober-minded with the miraculous side of the story, as you mentioned as well. Because and it was a funny point in the movie where we were like, well, we actually have to start trimming. There were so many miracles that were real to life, but in film felt almost unrealistic, that we actually had to trim a few of them out because it started feeling like what you worried about, that it was too magical, and I love finding that balance. I think that's all the art is all about balance and finding a way to craft a story that does feel grounded but still feels sort of fantastic at the same time. And so, man, now it's April 26th. Hundreds of thousands of people have to show up at the theaters for this thing to work. And so we dub you our unsung hero ambassadors now, to show up in the theaters on the 26th of April.
How many times do you think your mom will watch this movie? And then what's next for Joel Smallbone, the actor and director? Are there dream projects, dream collaborations that you have moving forward?
Mum literally said to me, Cody, I think it was yesterday or the day before, because they've been doing a bunch of screenings, Dad stays in. Dad's probably watched it 20 times, ironically.
Okay.
But Mum's like, I can't sit through it. So she's seen it, obviously, and she wept when she saw it. I think it's just so much for her, it's a very apt title as an unsung hero with her in mind, because she is she does not like the limelight. Like, she wrote a book called Behind the Lights. She likes being sort of tucked away. And I think she's going to watch it at the premiere.
Okay.
I think that will be probably the last time she does, if I had to guess, And then as far as what we've got going on, I mean, part of it is the 26th of April is such a pivotal, pinnacle moment. I can't see past it. I mean, speaking of the 26th, one little fun fact was Lionsgate, Adam Fogelson, who runs Lionsgate, he picks the date because it was a couple of weeks before, Mother's Day, and it just made sense. So we told Mum a few days later, hey, they picked the date, it's April 26th. And she was like, hey, that's our 49th wedding anniversary, right?
Oh, wow.
And then I lied. I was like, yes. It's like, that's why we did it, Mom. And man, that was what's so beautiful is there's so many miracles that are portrayed on screen, but there were so many miracles behind the camera. And I felt like that was one of them, of God kind of saying, hey, we're like, you're making your plans, I'm ordering your steps. And so, man, like I said, we're excited about April 26th. We've dubbed it Family Day because we're like Family Day at the theaters. So, you know, families can come out. We're trying to figure out deals with the theaters right now to give, like, you know, if your family shows up, could you get a discount and all the rest of it? And then as far as what's beyond it, one of the films we've been working on for about 6 years now is a Christmas musical set in the Civil War about two brothers who end up on opposite sides of the battlefield called Drummer Boy. We've written all the music, we've written the script, but more than that, we're just staying focused. We're staying pretty aggressively focused on what's at hand over the next month or so, because that kind of everything sort of hinges on what happens with Unsung Hero in some ways. Because it's one thing for people to listen to like a 3.5 minute song, but for you to take the time to watch an hour and 45 minute movie is very impacting. So thanks for taking the time, man. Appreciate it.
I appreciate, obviously not only, the talent that your brother, your family has, but also the way that you're using it. So however it goes on April 26th, you got my vote. So I appreciate it.
Thanks, man.
I'm looking forward. I hope the Christmas movie is comes to fruition.
Me too, my friend. Me too. Give our love to your wife. Thanks for the time today, Cody, and onward and upward, my friend.
Yeah. Thanks so much, Joel.